Hello, hello, stream. Welcome to the Build with Bear workshop. My name's Baer, and I'm about to start working on my Shining Gundam. If you haven't watched my previous episodes, this is episode 3 of the show. I've been working on the Shining Gundam. Let's look at that over here. The Shining Gundam kit from G Gundam. We worked on the legs, we worked on the arms, and we're going to work on the body and head today and try to put it all together and maybe finish in this hour. We're going to be streaming from 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. Eastern, and hopefully we'll finish up. So before we start getting in and I start building and kind of looking away, let me ask you, chat, how do we look? How do we sound? Feeling okay? I'm going to swap over to the main feed here so you can see my workspace. We'll let that get in there. You'll see what I'll be building, as well as taking a look at me in the corner. And then I'll pop back over here and see if chat is feeling like they can see what's going on with me. I'll give a second for chat to kind of catch up and see what's going on. Looking good, sounding good, sounding good. Thank you very much. Thanks for hanging out in the chat. Thanks for hanging out with me live. I heard from my friend Kirby that they are going to be working on something while we build. If any of you have projects you're working on, why don't you throw that in the chat? Let me know what you're working on. It honestly and earnestly thrills me, the very idea that someone is working on something live while I'm working on something. I think that's cool as hell. So if you're building anything, gluing. You're going to be gluing. That's great. That may have come off a little sarcastic. I apologize if it did, but that is awesome that you're working on something that thrills me. I have been attempting to get back into building, particularly Gundams, but all sorts of things, for quite some time, and I didn't have the right push. This show is a good push for me to get back into building. So if I can encourage others to do the same, that's fantastic. So as I look for pieces, here we go. All right. Yes, podcast editing does count, Harold. You're doing a creative work while I'm doing a creative work. You're doing it along, and that's great. Yeah, we don't have we're not like streaming a video game where I can be like, you should get in and play with me and that kind of thing. We're not doing anything like that. I could foresee someday in the future when if and when this channel grows in some fashion, the idea of encouraging people to buy this kit because I'm buying it and here's the discount code or something like that, and we could all build together like that. That makes me feel warm inside, the idea of doing that with stream friends. But that's a bit of a pipe dream because right now we're just focusing on assembling, and you guys can watch and build along. You guys and gals and non-binary types can watch while I build some stuff. And let's see, A17. So yeah, so we're working on the legs. We have the legs. We're going to build the torso and the crotch for these legs right now. That's the gimmick at this moment. Thanks for joining me today. This is the latest stream I've done. Word on the street, I ran an informal poll and asking people when they thought I should stream, what worked best for them, and people said evening. Which makes sense. Most people don't want to watch streams in the afternoon. They're working their jobs and they can't come check me out at night. Which at night they can come check me out, I should say. Which I understand. My big problem is that I work 4 nights a week, and so coming in to stream is kind of difficult on the evenings because I am working. Hello, Retcon95. Hello. But I'll announce this probably several times on the stream. if and when more people come in. I will tell you now that I am going to be streaming this Saturday from 5 p.m. until whenever, question mark, 5 p.m. to question mark. I will be streaming at my home. I'm going to do a home stream. I did a test stream the other day just to test things out, see how they felt. They felt good and competent. So I will be doing a stream this Saturday, 5 p.m. Eastern until question mark. I don't know how long I'm going to do. It'll be more than an hour. I've been doing hour streams. Today's stream will be an hour. But that stream will be longer. Maybe an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours. I don't know. I haven't decided yet. I've been talking and not getting this crotch right here. So I'm going to shut up for 1 second as I attempt to. Nope. That is the number one thing I have found about doing this type of project is that you have to be patient because otherwise you won't get your pieces ready. Like that's not right, so I have to flip that around. Is that right? That's also the big issue with doing a piece, some kind of piece like this is that I haven't done it before. So eventually the pieces make sense and the assembly makes sense, but sometimes as I'm building it or putting it together, it doesn't make any sense, and I'm left to wonder what am I doing right now? What is this choice I'm making right now? But I think I just made the right choice. That seems to be right. Okay, great. Yep, that's right. Okay, so that's the front part of the crotch. Sorry, this is the back piece of the crotch, and we'll work on the front part in just a moment. Now I'm looking for the right pieces, and sometimes they don't pop out at you. You have to really dig and look for them. Hello, Ignorant Spoon. What's up indeed? I'm just doing some building. We're working on this G Gundam. We're going to attempt to finish it today. That's the goal. I have another kit waiting in the wings. Those of you who watched my unarchived test stream the other day, I did an afternoon test stream in my apartment to see how that would work. I revealed what I'll be working on, and today I'll also reveal what I've been working on, what I'll be working on next. It is a classic and a fan favorite, and the pilot of said Gundam that we'll be working on next is a Gundam, is my favorite character in all of Gundam. He's the best, and so I'm very excited to build his kit. I've never built his kit in master grade form. I've done it in high grade, never master grade. So I'm going to be using a little bit of finishing here. Just, the cut I made with my snippers wasn't that great. So I'm just doing a little bit of sanding. It's probably a little too fine for what I'm doing. These sanding strips are the best. These sanding sticks, I should say, not strips. They are sticks. They are awesome, and I'm so glad they exist. They did not exist when I first started putting kits together in the 90s, and I would have to use another object for that. I would have to use actual sandpaper, and actual sandpaper sucks. It's great for things like finishing wood. It's not great for things like plastic model kits. It wasn't ideal, and it was annoying, and then you had all of the dust everywhere, and that sucked for cleanup. So I'm glad that I don't have to deal with that anymore. All right. So A11, A10, A26. So let's put that there. That'll go like that. And that'll go. Okay, I got it. So we're building the front of the crotch area, the torso. The front and back pieces there. And A25 and 26. I'm going to look for that now. And there they are. Great. All right. So we'll be putting that stuff there. Yeah, Yeah, I'm very excited to do a stream on Saturday in my home, and not have to travel, and I'll have all my gear set up way in advance. I'm going to actually be out of the apartment during the day doing a podcast, for a project that I have actually nothing to do with other than being a fan, which it's very rare that I get to do kind of cool stuff like that. So I'm looking forward to that. They just asked me to help them sell their game that's coming out. It is a board game, and we're looking for some comedy people to help out. I won't say what it is until the project is done, because there's always the possibility that we won't, have time to record, or the recording will come out wrong, or anything. And I've learned that when you advertise things, sometimes it doesn't happen, and then people are rightfully annoyed. Like, we're on episode 3, folks, of this, and I have said that we would have a guest, and we had John Brashad in the first episode for 10 minutes or so at the end, and that is it. My guests fall through. I will have no guest on my home show, because I'm not inviting someone to my home just to do this. But in the future, obviously, the hope is that we will have shows here with guests in the training center here that I'm at right now, the UCB Training Center facility, that I will be able to have guests, because in the future I'd like to have people on who make things. I'd like to have painters and sculptors and animators come on and talk about their works and their projects, and have them be the ones creating, and I'll just be the one sitting back and thinking that's very cool. That's what the future may hold for this show, is my hope. But right now we're just building and chatting, and I think that's pretty cool. Thank you to the friends that are hosting me. I appreciate that very much. That lets your subscribers and friends know about my channel, which I appreciate. We're at 40 followers, which is, for 3 episodes, really great. I'm very, very happy with that. That's an excellent amount of growth. I hope we might have just had an issue there, but hopefully everything's okay. If we had a hiccup on the stream, I apologize, but I think we're all right. Okay. As I was saying, I'm grateful for those of you that have been spreading the word, that have been doing the retweeting and letting people know. The numbers right now are good, and I'm pleased with that. I'm not saying that I'm like gunning for an affiliate or anything like that, or partners, but I certainly wouldn't turn it down. The idea of having more people be able to come see, and those of you that felt the need to, or not the need, the want to be, like a subscriber, even if you have like, Twitch Prime, something like that. If you're going to throw your Twitch Prime token at me, something like that, that would be fantastic. But I'm not, like I said, not an affiliate, none of that. I haven't put the hours in. Right now, this is just for fun. I guess it's a good time to mention, as we start building here, as we complete part of the torso, the crotch area, if you will. I do have underneath the stream on Twitch here is mentioned my YouTube. Subscribe to my YouTube if you don't already. Follow me on Twitter if you don't already, although I assume you all do. And then there's a Ko-fi there. Ko-fi, I guess it's called. Coffee. Whatever. I don't know. I don't need it. These are a little expensive kits, but nothing that I wasn't going to buy for myself anyway. But if you ever feel inclined to throw me a couple bones, that would be swell. It's there mostly because that's a thing you do. That's a thing streamers do, is they promote themselves and set up donations. And that's all that is. As I said, not required. I'm going to keep mentioning it, but no one is ever obligated to do anything other than enjoy it if you're enjoying it. That's it. That's my little spiel there. I'll probably say that at the end as we wrap up. But we're nowhere near wrapping up. We're going to keep building. We're getting into the chest area here of this build. That was 19. That's the base. Great. Yeah, that's where we're at right now. So since the last time I streamed, I watched a little bit more of G Gundam. I'm slowly watching it again. As I said, as I'll say every time, it doesn't hold up. There's still some very interesting creative works there. I do like a fighting anime, and it's more of a fighting anime than any other Gundam series, other than Build, the Build Fighters, which is like Mega Man EXE style. That's obviously a fighting anime that I've watched a little bit of, but not a lot. It's more for kids, I would say, and I'm not super into it. But I am very much into kind of keeping up with G Gundam. The main thing is when I watched it dubbed the first time because it was on Cartoon Network. So I'm really enjoying the sub voices. I generally prefer those. I think there's a couple shows that do it okay to good job of dubbing, but I don't seek out the dubs. I usually seek out subtitled. Just a preference. There are a few shows. Everyone's got their favorite show that they're like, no, you gotta watch it dubbed. It's actually better. I'm trying to think of a show that had an. Oh, there's one show where the Japanese voice actress for one of the characters was so annoying that I started watching the dub because the dub voice was better. Unfortunately, I cannot remember what that was, so I apologize for referencing a thing that I don't remember. But for the most part, I'll go with subbed over dubbed, unless it's impossible to find, like the Hulu Persona 4 when it's on Hulu, the first season of Persona 4 that was dubbed, and that was fine because I like the voice actors from the video game. Obviously, there are a couple that changed voice actors. Chie is a different voice actor, and all that. There's some changes there, but for the most part, it's a similar production. Oops. So I did something. Did I do something? Yes, I did something wrong here. So I'm going to undo my mistake. I put these pieces on here upside down. So I'm going to right my mistake. Luckily, we caught that early. And that's always nice things about these kind of model kits is since you're not gluing the pieces together, you're just snapping them together, there is room for error, which is great if you're like me and you mess things up. Especially, you might not have ever heard of this before, but talking and doing at the same time can lead to mistakes. Shocking, I know that's true, but it is. All right, and then G20, which is the second to last piece in G. We're almost done with this whole sheet. And when we get done with a sheet, that always makes me feel good because it means that we're making strong progress. But yeah, going back to G Gundam, as I said, I don't know if it holds up that well. There's things about it that are clever and interesting, but its attempt to generalize character work based on your country of origin leaves a lot to be desired. It ends up just being very, very stereotypical and frustrating. Oh God, there's a screw. Oh no. Oh man. Okay. Well, so I have to dig around a little bit, y'all. Y'all forgive me for a moment. There we go. Oh boy. Okay, so the part that I was looking forward to the least is using a screw, because while most of these instructions are fairly easy enough to read and follow along, even if you're not an English speaker, or sorry, even if you are an English speaker and not a reader of Japanese, because these instructions are in Japanese, this can be a little difficult. So, because some of the descriptions of these pieces don't really help out. All right, so we're doing that. We're doing that. So basically, the torso shell, the chest shell into the torso, has a screw in it to keep it in place, right? Makes sense. That's helpful. Instead of just snapping in, it will be snapped in and then screwed shut. And that's cool, except it's annoying to do on a stream. Yes, so we'll try to get that done here. I'm going to try to do this as fast as I can without messing anything up. That's the goal anyway. It's going to allow for a lot of freedom of movement here, which is cool, because we'll be adding so much more onto this skeleton that having the freedom of movement now is pretty cool. But it doesn't make for a great stream. Yeah, these screws are, Danny Bicky, you are right, man. These are, these are very small screws, and they're not great for what I'm doing here. I'm also using a screwdriver that is big. Unfortunately, my tiny screwdrivers I don't have with me, so I have a screwdriver that's big that's been for use over the years, many years. My dad owned this. I got this set from my dad. It's been kind of whittled down, so it does help with tiny screws. But okay, thankfully, that wasn't that hard. So this still allows a lot more range of movement than just a piece of snapping together would. But yeah, so I was unhappy that I had to do that, and I'm glad that it's over because I don't want to do with screws anymore. I should point out that the legs here have a screw in them, several screws, and I did that off stream because it was really annoying. So those other screws, don't worry, I put them in a box. They are in the actual box here, so they won't go anywhere. I have a few more screws in there waiting to be used. So great. So we're coming along here. Take a second to check in on social media here, and see if we can get a few more followers here. We're not halfway done, but we're almost halfway done. So I'm just trying to get the word out. And I'm very happy that all 9 of y'all are watching. Thank you very much for hanging out with me today as I do this. But you know, it's nice when more people can come and join the stream. All right, so we did that. A24. 24. There it is. This particular sheet here has different colors, and so sometimes the pieces blend in and I can't see them. Great. So we will put this little piece here, and that's gonna something to do with the head later, I guess. Great, so that goes there. Okay, great. All right, we're working on the frame here. We're gonna put together some stuff that I don't really know what those pieces are for, but we'll. We're gonna work on more of the chest area here. So let's get into B. B is B. Yes, blue pieces. Very few blue pieces in this kit. It's accentuation of the what's it called? Oh, the core lander. It's a vehicle. We'll be getting to that pretty soon. The core lander is a cool part of several Gundam series, including this one. There's not a lot of blue on this Shining Gundam. It's mostly an accentuation. There's a little bit on the arms, and there's a little bit on the chest area, and it's more like an accent color, which I like. Good coloring on this particular kit. Let's see here. Great. All right, we're coming along here. Making good progress today. It's Thursday. I have produce a comedy wrestling show that happens on Thursdays. It's a show called Cage Match at the UCB Theater in Chelsea. I produce the wrestling portion of the show. There's 2 improv teams that perform, and in between the improv sets, there is a comedy wrestling match that takes place for about 3 to 5 minutes. We do that show, and I love it very much. I help work on the characters that are in it and all of that. production element. I am the booker, you could say, in wrestling jargon. It is clearly not a real wrestling federation in the sense that we're not like, you know, there's some physicality. Hey, there's some physicality to it, but we're not professional wrestlers, and we don't claim to be. I know a few people that that do actual professional wrestling, and that's not necessarily what we do. Because there's comedy, there is wrestling out there that is comedic, that is very funny, but is first and foremost like a wrestling show. Like if you ever get a chance to, I highly recommend seeing Chikara. Chikara is a wrestling league based in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, that is the funnier side of wrestling. They're very kid-friendly and have big, larger-than-life characters, lots of masked wrestlers, and lots of high-flying maneuvers. They are the best. I have a lot of appreciation and love for Chikara. They're great. But I would say that they are wrestlers who are funny, where we are comedians who wrestle. So the show I do weekly is just like a little portion of the larger show we dedicate to wrestling. It's like the intermission to our other show. Whereas once a month we gear up for a show that is all us. It is a fantastic endeavor. We do 3 times a year. We do a show that we used to call pay-per-view. Now I guess we call an event. That is an hour-long program and is just us wrestling, and there's no improv. It's just the wrestling show, and I can't wait for that. It's my favorite time of year. Our show coming up is titled Revengeance, and it's going to be a big show, big time fun show. So we're gearing up for that. That's August 18th at midnight. It's a Friday night, 11:59 p.m. So I'm having trouble right now. You might have noticed that I've been just awkwardly trying to shove one piece into another piece. I can see the finished product and what it's supposed to look like, but I can't seem to replicate it, and I don't know why. This little piece is supposed to snap into this big piece. I'm going to try to use my screwdriver. It's like a poker. Poke it. It's the right spot. But I can't seem to do it, and it's frustrating me. No, didn't do it. My hope is when I start snapping this together, this piece will just fit the way it's supposed to. I'm going to set it aside for a little bit and work on another piece here. A little more blue, the outer armor and back armor of this piece. So hopefully that little piece that was annoying and didn't want to go where it was supposed to go will work once I start putting it together. We can kind of force it. But yeah, so UCBW is a comedy wrestling show, August 18th at UCB Chelsea. It's on the website. The description is not accurate right now. It's probably last year's description because it involves dozens and dozens of creative people who sometimes won't tell me if they're available for a thing, which is, awesome. Like they take forever to tell me they can do a thing or if they're available to do it. Or they say they can do it and then suddenly they can't. And I'm trying to be understanding, but come on, guys. You can't do that to me. Guys and gals. There's sometimes where it's just like, hey, do you want to actually do this thing? Then you have to tell me yes. That's the frustrating part of being a producer. It has a lot of, especially with this particular thing that I do, has so much creativity and production and going for laughs and figuring out the funniest choice we can make and doing all that, and it's so rewarding. But then it's like, hey, reply to my emails. If you want to do a thing, you have to reply to my emails. And then sometimes people don't seem to want to reply to your emails, but you see them in person and they're very gung-ho about your project, and you're like, cool, so why can't you reply to emails? That is, you don't have to be a creative to be frustrated with that. Yeah, exactly, Harold. So UCBW, our weekly shows, sometimes the wrestling is filmed, like our 5-minute things. Our big hour-long events, unfortunately, are not filmed. They are predominantly for our live audience. Someday I'd like to be able to film more, but that is unfortunately not a thing that we prioritize. With a lot of comedy that I do here in New York, for a lot of us, the it's for the live crowd. I did 404ing it, my show that I do primarily at PAX at the UCB Theater for years and years, and I never had a single recording until I started doing the live shows at PAX. It was never a thing that I focused on was recording. I more focused on the live aspects, um, and especially like a live physical show like that I'm talking about. To produce that with any consistency video wise, you kind of have to shoot it for video, which is not a thing that we're focused on. But I would like to in the future have more time to do stuff like that. All right, so let's see here. We've got our torso, and maybe this piece will suddenly make sense when I start doing this like this. As I said, it doesn't seem to make any sense because it doesn't seem to want to go where I want it to go. But we'll see when we put it in this, if that'll make more sense. And yeah, well, I mean, it still doesn't make a lot of sense. This torso piece doesn't make a lot of sense, but it seems to fit in there. Just doesn't fit in there in a way that I think is right. We'll see, y'all. We'll see. Yeah, herding cats. That is a perfect way to describe that project. Oh man, we got a gemstone. We're in the big time now, y'all. This is almost like sticker application, aka a thing I am bad at. Several times people have asked about painting, if I'm going to do any painting of my kits, and I always respond, "Oh no, I'm not good at that." So no. We got a little gem here that we are going to fasten on. Ooh, that's pretty cool. That was just a little bit of glue right on there, so it adhered right on, and I'm pretty happy with that. Great. All right, so let's continue this build. We are getting there. We're getting what we need done. As you can see, we're going to add some more pieces, more armor to it. We're looking at the letter C. Great. A little bit of red here. Red, blue, gray, and gold. Those are the colors we were working with. To give another tease about the project that I will be working on next, the next Gundam in our Gundam build series, I will only say that the primary color in that particular build is black. So there's going to be a lot of black pieces in our next build, which may give it away for a few of you. Otherwise, just stay tuned. As I said, I'll mention that at the end, and those that are watching my test stream already saw me talk about it. But yeah, we're going to work on our next build. I don't know in the next 25 minutes if we are going to get to finishing this piece. We're very close, but sometimes we might hit a snag where something just doesn't go right, or I really messed a thing up and we have to stop. So hopefully that won't be the case here. We'll just get through. The case of when dealing with these kinds of builds, one of our biggest problems is just that I have big stubby fingers. I jokingly said on Twitter the other day I bought a new mouse, not realizing that it was meant for laptops, and my hand completely encompassed it. I have a big meaty paws, like a bear. So it sometimes delicate pieces take a little longer for me than they would for other people. Uh, so I did buy a new mouse. So the little tiny mouse is now my travel mouse. I have it here with my gear right now. And then so my other mouse, I bought a new one that's way larger, particularly because I was just so annoyed with how small it was. I should say, I do have this new headset. Take it off my ear for a second there because it's actually annoying my ear. I have this new headset. I like it. I think the sound I'm pretty happy with. And it is not wireless. It's not part of a wireless kit. It is wired. It is a XLR that goes directly to my input device, and then it goes from USB to my computer. I have an H4n that I use for podcasts. I used to use for podcasts when I did podcasting stuff. Right now, its primary service, the H4n, is when I go on the road. It's hooked up to soundboards like a PAX. I will bring it to get audio from a panel. I am doing a Friday night panel at PAX West that I don't know for sure if it will be audio recorded. So I am going to have to figure that out, because I don't know if my crew that'll be doing 404ing, my general crew, ENC 3000, I do not know if Chelsea and Eric will be able to come film the Friday night show. So right now we're discussing it, and they're not sure. So I'm honestly just right now looking up the details of that so that I can tell you the dates of it, because I'm bad at that. So Friday, September 1st at 8:30 p.m. That's Pacific time, because it will be at PAX West. So Friday, September 1st at 8:30 p.m. in the Hydra Theater, which is twitch.tv/PAX2. I want to say it might be 3, but I believe it's 2. I'll know more details soon. I have a show that is entitled "The Improvised Postmortem." That's right. I have another show that I'm doing at PAX. So the Improvised Postmortem will feature a variety of acts, including Chris Straub and Danielle Riendo, Jeff Gersman, Dave Lang, Kate Welch, Aaron Treitz. I don't know for sure. There'll be a few other people, and it is like a video game postmortem type thing where people will come up and talk for like 5 or 10 minutes about a video game and what went right and what went wrong with them. But here's the twist. They don't know what game they're talking about until they get on stage, and it's revealed on the PowerPoint that I made. I'm the only one that knows. And another twist, not really a twist, they're a made-up video game, so they don't really exist. So they have to talk about a game that doesn't exist and what went wrong with it. And it should be a good, fun comedy time, and I'm very excited about that show. So for that show, I'll have my H4n, the recorder I'm using here. That'll just be plugged into their soundboard, and I'll just film it on a camera, pointing at the podium. I'm very excited about this show. It is a comedy premise that I had for a while that I thought I would love to do, but I didn't have a good venue for it. I was going to do here in New York for a while, and then I kind of just thought it might be fun to do at PAX, and they accepted it. And it's also a way to use a lot of my friends. Not use is the wrong term. It's a way for me to do a show with a lot of my friends. In the same way that League of Heels, our wrestling show, allows us to involve a lot of our friends. This show will feature just like a ton of people. And I think that's going to be great. So there'll be a few more guests that I didn't announce there, because some people will want to do solo and some people will want to do teams. So maybe Dave Lang's going to pull in some people I don't even know yet. Or he might just want to work with Jeff, and then I'll bring in some new people. That'll be another team. Because I do know that Chris Straub and Kate Welch are working together. They're a duo. So I don't know how many duos are going to be. Last minute, there might be some people that I don't know. I'm prepping it. The term shit show should not apply to this project, but I should be aware that things could get weird. I think weird is the better phrase for that. I mean, it could be a shit show. It's the first time I'm doing it, so it could go south really quickly. But I don't think it will. I think it's going to be really fun. I think people are going to have a really good time doing it. So yeah, so there's going to be a lot of fake games. The example that I use a lot for this is the example I'll use. I'll start the show by like riffing on a fake game. I use the name Pac-Man 2 Man Pack, and I talk about how it was a free-to-play game that people were really interested in. But it was Android only, and also people said it was bad, and they did not enjoy playing it. So that was the biggest flaw in Pac-Man 2 Man Pack, was that people didn't like it. That's just a stupid thing that I find very funny. Also, I really enjoy saying the name Man Pack. But yeah, so that will be Friday night, and then on Sunday it'll be 404ing it. And they're also Sunday. Sunday is a big night. It's a Labor Day weekend, so usually Sunday's not that big at a convention, but Sunday night at PAX West this year is crazy. There's wrestling early in the morning, I believe 10:30, 10. I can't remember. Sorry. All more details soon. 4:04 in the afternoon, and then in the evening, Sunday evening, is the Giant Bomb panel. So they're Sunday evening for the first time, which probably threw off some people that only buy one-day passes or two one-day passes to suddenly be like, oh no. But for me, that's awesome because it means that right now I got nothing to do on Saturday. So I'm very excited about that. And then that Monday, I got invited to be on podcast panel. Unfortunately, I do have plans in the city that day, so I will not be able to do that. But if you're at PAX on Monday, PAX West is going to be on a Monday, go to the Pokemon podcast panel. I've been on it. It's Super Effective is the name of it. I've been on that panel before. Sorry, I did the podcast. I never did a panel with them, but I did their podcast, and it was really fun. So Steve's a good dude. So if you're in the area, if you're at PAX on Monday, go to that. But I'll be promoting all my stuff. And the one thing I'm going to try to do, because I don't know if I can pull it off, so I want to do it, is I'm going to bring my gear. I might not bring like two webcams. I might just bring this webcam here, and I might use the webcam on my laptop. But I'm going to bring my gear, and I'm going to try to find a place with a bit rate high enough that I can stream during PAX, maybe on Saturday. I'm going to try to do a stream when I get up there because I think that would be really cool and fun to do because I'm kind of, as I said, I got the itch. I've been enjoying this so much that I don't really want to stop doing it. I don't want to take like a week off because I'd be traveling on Thursday, so I wouldn't want to do a Thursday live stream. I think that would be too much for my for me to do. So I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do a stream on. Sorry, I'm just looking at this. This piece doesn't make any sense. There it is. Okay. So I wouldn't do a stream that Thursday, but I would definitely the August 31st. But I would definitely do one that Saturday. So I think I'm going to try to do that, and I think that would be really fun. Is while I'm getting ready for all our panels and stuff that Saturday, like take a break, find a place with a decent enough live stream, and then do a build. And what I would do is, because I think would be very fun, is I'll buy a kit at PAX and like go to the show floor, find some kind of model kit, maybe a Chibi, an SD Gundam kit, or like an Evangelion kit maybe or something. Just like find some kind of kit at one of the stores that I build like there. So that way I wouldn't fly out with it, but I would fly back with it. Because I think that's kind of a dumb idea, and I'm very interested in dumb ideas, as you know, from this. I mean, this came out of as I've said, this was a shower idea. This was me in the shower thinking about Build with Baer workshop and what that would mean, and should I do that, and is that too stupid? And luckily, the answer is no. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's a stupid idea, but I'm still doing it because you shouldn't stop doing something just because you think it's silly, or doing something just because you think maybe people wouldn't like it. Like, hey, right now we're at 14 viewers, which is the highest number of viewers we had. Our third episode, 14 concurrent viewers. I'm very pleased with that. I think that's fantastic. When I started doing this, I had no idea if anyone would watch at all, ever, for any amount of time. And I'm very pleased that people are tuning in. I think everyone was right, and the later the stream, the better. So I'll probably be doing later streams than, maybe not too late, but I'll probably be doing streams that are not in the afternoon anymore, like I was doing. Because people weren't able to tune in, and that's a shame. I want people to be able to tune in and watch me stream. All right, so we're building the head right now. We're getting a lot of work done on this head. Get some eyes in, and get to the face. The face is now on, which is good. Need that face. And the headpiece goes in. What's going on, chat? Saddle wax packs. Ooh. Okay, so you went kit shopping while you were at PAX. Interesting. Yeah, I kind of like the idea that, like, well, while I'm here, might as well buy a thing. There's something about that I like looking on the show floor for a kit and then purchasing that kit. But I also might go shopping, take a trip out and find something else. That could be fun. We'll see. I don't know yet. I might not bring any of that gear. I might, pick up my suitcase and go, this is too heavy. And then that's the end of that. And I did not, pick up a bunch of gear and bring a bunch of crazy gear with me. The thing is that the reason why this setup on the road for me would work really well is mainly because it's mostly the stuff that I would bring anyway. It's my laptop. It's the tripod for my camera, the overhead camera. I have a tripod here. And then, I don't usually travel with a webcam, but I certainly would if it meant that that I'd be able to get this stream done. So, apologize. I stopped talking for a second there, and I will continue to talk. There was a piece that didn't make sense to me, but now it does. So we'll just snap that in place there, and then it goes like that. And then I need A27. Great. Yeah. Thank you very much, Harold. This is also a good time for me. I really enjoy having some people hang out with me while I do this. I probably would be doing it anyway, although I did say I had taken a break from running these kinds of builds for quite some time, so I'm happy to be back doing it again. It's very fun for me to do it. What am I doing wrong here? Huh. Doesn't want to... and does not want to go in place. All right, we're running into a bit of an issue here where I can't seem to get this face to clip on where I want it to, where it needs to go. So I'm going to keep working on that for a second here. Yeah, I think that I didn't put the head the face part of the head high enough in. It didn't snap in high enough, so that when I'm putting the jaw piece on, it's not connecting. As I said earlier, it's nice having these be snapping kits because you can kind of take them apart when you completely screw up, which you can't do with kits that you're doing glue with. So it adds for a little bit of allowance for fuck ups. So I'm just going to try to shove this up in there a little more. I also may give up and fix it later off camera. Well, because we've got about 10 minutes left. So, all right, we're going to come back to that. I'm going to put this piece in there, put the head aside. I'm very frustrated with that, but we will carry on. We're going to make the core lander, which is the leader of this outfit, can ride on a vehicle that then pops back into the Gundam and is the cockpit. So his cockpit is like a vehicle, which is cool. It's pretty cool. So that's pretty fun. Yeah, all right, so let's look at that. Apologize for adjusting. I'm still getting used to this new kit. It doesn't, all my new gear occasionally takes a little bit time to get used to. All right, so A18. Yeah, I don't think we're going to finish this up in our hour. We're getting close to the end of our time together today. But I do think that on Saturday, as I mentioned earlier in the stream, and I'll say again, Saturday, 5 p.m. Eastern until ? I will finish this kit, and I will start work on the next one, which I will announce very soon when that kit will be. I'm going to do a couple more pieces here, and then we will wrap up the show with our announcement of what my next kit will be. And then Saturday, 5 p.m. Eastern until ? I'm going to be streaming in my apartment. As the sun goes down, the room light will change, and I will probably end up calling it, or I will get tired of doing it, because I don't know the limit of me talking to y'all and being a streamer. Like, I don't know how long that vibe is. Until it's like, okay, well, it's time to go. So on Saturday, we'll finish this up, and we will work on the next one. And so we're working on the core lander, which is like a vehicle. Occasionally, Gundams have vehicle modes, or occasionally they are like transforming. This one doesn't have a lot of transforming elements, but it does have the ability of like a vehicle, like the dude's in a vehicle, and then he like pops in that vehicle and then gets in his Gundam and goes. A32 and A33. All right. We'll do that here. A33. Yes. These are tiny. Tiny pieces. Which is okay. Yeah. So like I said, we're coming up towards the end of this. The end of this month. Oh, I gotta go for piece. Piece fell, y'all. Piece fell. There's a carpet piece now. Okay. Oh, there it is. Great. Oof. Thank goodness. Could have been way worse. This carpet luckily didn't match this piece, so it was easy enough to find. Yeah, I will be in Seattle from Thursday, August 31st until that Tuesday. I'll fly back that Tuesday in the afternoon. So I will attempt to stream while I'm out there. Let's see. Well, let me look at the old calendar for a moment here. The 10th, I'll be streaming on the 5th. Saturday, I'll be the 10th and the 12th. 17th right now, do not know if I will be doing on the 17th. I have an afternoon rehearsal and then a show I'm teching. And so after that show, I'm probably going to try to find a place to record it in the facility that I'm at here. But I have not been given the go-ahead about that yet. I don't know if I'll have space to do it. I'm hoping I will, but I don't know if I will. Unfortunately, right now, I do not know if I have a location for 2 weeks from now. But I'm going to try because I really enjoy doing streaming. I'd like to do it twice a week. So we'll see. That goes in there. So yeah, like I said, I don't know for sure if I'll be able to do a stream in 2 weeks, but that's my goal. And then the following week I'll stream, and then the week after that I won't stream because I will be traveling. I mean, who knows? Maybe I'll get out to Seattle and I'll get settled in my hotel and I'll do like a test stream or something, and we'll just chat about what's going on with the world of League of Heels, the wrestling organization that I'm in, and that kind of stuff. Maybe we'll chat about that stuff while we wait for cool stuff to happen with that. Maybe we'll do that. But I don't know, that's in the future. Right now I can tell you about the present, which is that I am finishing up a piece here, and then we'll be done for today. And that goes like that. Rocket boosters, okay. All right, I'm going to stop there. I'll put these pieces away. So we worked on the torso and the chest and the head, and we're going to finish on Saturday. We'll finish the core and all the other pieces for that. And right now, I'm going to take my headset off for a second, and I'm going to go and grab the thing I'm working on next. It'll literally take a split second, so don't go anywhere. And I'll be back in 1 second with what I'm working on next. I could have put it in a spot that I could reach instead of doing what I just did, which is to get up and get it. But I didn't do that. All right, so let's switch to this webcam here. Okay, so here we go. It is a master grade, and it is Gundam Death Scythe. This is it's a endless waltz, so it is looks very similar to the Death Scythe Hell. We've lost the arm thing that the duo shot out. That was like a little weird pincer thing. That's gone. It's got a stand. It's a beautiful piece, and I'm thrilled to work on it. As I said, the Death Scythe is my favorite Gundam. Duo rules, and I'm so psyched. There's a lot of detail in this piece, and I can't wait to build it. I've been carrying it around, and I can't wait. So that, like I said, on Saturday we are finishing this project. We are going to wrap up our Shining Gundam. We're going to finish it completely. We'll be done with it, and we'll display it, and everything will be cool. And then we'll get to work on the Death Scythe Hell custom. Custom is because it's endless waltz, and they say custom at the end, whatever. We'll probably just keep calling it the Death Scythe instead of the Death Scythe Hell custom or the Death Scythe H custom or whatever, or the endless waltz Death Scythe or whatever we want to say. We'll probably just call it the Death Scythe, and we'll be doing that. So I want to thank you for joining at 6 p.m. Thanks to all the viewers that tuned in. If you didn't catch the whole stream, it'll be here on the Twitch channel in the archive, or go to youtube.com/PatBaer. I'm going to be uploading this immediately, and it'll be up 25, 30 minutes from now. And I'll be putting all the videos we archived there. Next stream, Saturday, 5 p.m. Eastern until probably 6:30 or 7. And then we'll back next Thursday, probably at the same time. I will announce it. Always follow me on twitter.com/PatBaer. Thank you very much for tuning in, and have a great rest of your Thursday. Goodbye.